Hi everyone, welcome to Uni1 Email API YouTube channel. We're excited to have you here as we explore the best ways to secure your emails. Today's topic is ARC and how to secure your emails with the authenticated received chain. It's no secret that email is one of the most powerful tools businesses can use to communicate with their users. But spam and phishing attacks are everywhere, making it critical for mail services to verify senders and block malicious emails. One of the key technologies that helps with this is the Authenticated Received Chain, or ARC. But what exactly is ARC and why does it matter? Let's break it down. The Authenticated Received Chain is a protocol designed to verify an email's authenticity, even when it has been modified in transit. Unlike SPF and DKIM, which can fail when an email is altered, ARC allows email systems to recognize that a message is still trustworthy. Why is ARC important? Emails don't always go straight from the sender to the recipient. They often pass through multiple servers along the way. Some of these servers, like mailing lists, even make small changes, like adding a footer or modifying the subject line. The problem is that DKIM checks the email's contents for changes. If anything in the signed parts of the email is modified, the DKIM signature won't match anymore and the email might be rejected, even if it's completely legitimate. That's where ARC steps in. It forms a chain of trust, helping mail providers determine if the email is legitimate despite the modifications. Instead of rejecting emails outright, ARC allows intermediate servers to vouch for messages by adding special headers and a new digital signature. This forms a chain of trust, helping mail providers determine if the email is legitimate despite the modifications. Before we dive deeper into ARC, let's quickly review the three main email authentication protocols: SPF, DKIM, and DMARC. SPF checks if an email comes from an authorized sender's IP address. DKIM ensures the email's contents weren't altered in transit. DMARC then determines what to do if SPF and DKIM fail, whether to let the email through, quarantine it, or reject it entirely. Now here's the problem. Emails sometimes need to be modified in transit, especially when forwarded. SPF and DKIM assume no changes should occur, so they might mistakenly fail authentication. ARC prevents this issue by allowing trusted intermediaries to sign the email, confirming that the changes are expected and the message is still valid. Think of ARC as a chain of digital signatures, each added by an intermediate mail server that processes the email. If an email is forwarded or modified by a trusted entity, ARC provides a record of this, so the final receiving server can verify its legitimacy. With major email providers like Gmail, Yahoo, and Microsoft enforcing strict authentication rules for high-volume senders, ensuring your emails pass verification is more important than ever. ARC is a crucial tool to keep legitimate emails from being falsely marked as spam. Every time an email passes through an intermediate server, ARC adds 3 extra headers to help trace its path back to the original sender. These headers include ARC authentication results. It stores authentication results for SPF, DKIM, and DMARC. ARC, message signature. A digital signature similar to DKIM, covering the entire email and headers, except the ARC seal header. And finally, ARC seal. A DKIM-like signature of the ARC headers generated by previous servers in the chain. As an email moves through different servers, each one adds ARC headers to track its journey. The next server then checks these headers to confirm the email is still valid and hasn't been tampered with. Each time an email moves through a server, 3 key steps happen. The server copies the original SPF and DKIM authentication results into a new ARC authentication results header and assigns a sequence number, starting from IX1. After that, it generates an ARC message signature, a digital signature that includes the sequence number, and attaches it to the email, and then generates an ARC seal that signs all previous ARC seal headers and attaches it to the email. If any intermediate server modifies the original email, it digitally signs it to confirm that the change is legitimate. Now, how does the receiving server validate the email? When an email reaches the receiving server, it checks the SPF and DKIM records. If those checks fail due to modifications in transit, the server can verify the ARC records instead. Here's how. First, it validates the chain of ARC seal headers. Then, verifies the latest ARC message signature according to its sequence number. If these checks pass, the server considers the email legitimate and delivers it. This ensures that valid messages altered in transit aren't mistakenly rejected or marked as spam. Now let's talk about the practical part, how to set up ARC. The good news is, if you use an email service provider like Uni1, SendGrid, or Amazon SES, you don't need to do anything. But if you manage your own mail server, for example, Postfix, SendMail, or Exim with custom scripts and forward emails, you need to take the following steps. Set up OpenARC, if the server, such as Postfix, supports it. Add ARC headers when forwarding emails, if the forwarded email passes SPF, DKIM, and DMARC checks. Verify incoming ARC headers to consider the authentication chain. You can see an example of ARC headers on your screen. In these headers, the forwarding server checks SPF, DKIM, and DMARC, and records the results in ARC authentication results. Then, the server generates ARC message signature, signing important email headers. After that, ARC seal is added to sign the previous ARC headers, protecting them from modification. Now let's summarize why ARC is a game changer for email authentication. First, it enables better deliverability. ARC helps make sure your emails don't get wrongly flagged as spam or rejected. It keeps track of SPF and DKIM authentication, even when emails get forwarded. That means your legitimate messages are more likely to reach the inbox. Second, stronger security. With ARC, email providers can verify messages even if they fail basic authentication checks. It creates a tamper-proof record of where the email has been, making it harder for hackers to spoof emails or impersonate brands. And third, easier troubleshooting. If an email doesn't get delivered, ARC gives providers a clear trail to follow. This makes it easier to analyze issues and fix deliverability problems. Now, while ARC is great, it's not a silver bullet. It doesn't replace SPF, DKIM, or DMARC. Instead, it works alongside them. So if you want top-level email security, you still need all of these protocols in place. So, to wrap things up, ARC helps protect email authentication when messages pass through multiple servers. It prevents good emails from getting wrongly flagged and adds an extra layer of security. And if you want to make sure your emails are delivered fast and securely, using a reliable email provider is key. That's where Uni1 comes in. Our service takes care of all the authentication work for you, so you can focus on what really matters, your business. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more tips on email security and best practices. See you next time.